Evil corporation. Environmental mistakes.
Whole damn mountain's unstable since they started drilling. You're gonna have to ski like hell, because you won't live through what's coming.
Corporate greed. Possessed miners from outer space. It's an action game.
Fracked is nothing like Phantom Covert Ops. Endream's last game was a gritty stealth experience exclusive to Oculus, but this PSVR exclusive is like a massive summer blockbuster brought into a headset. We spoke to creative director Steve Watt about the change in pace from the developer's last title.
You know, with Phantom, we cared about the one-to-one experience of the canoeing, and I think other traversal methods was a big inspiration. So we knew climbing worked really well in VR, and also we had created a skiing demo, and playing that skiing demo became so moreish that people kept on coming back and saying, can I play it again, can I play it again? And so we knew we had something quite nice there.
Oh shit!
This may be a title which is quite old for a lot of people, and that's why it's a contemporary version of it, is Die Hard. It is an action adventure, and it's in that sense it has that action movie aspect of it. We do have fake news, a strong, complex female character, morally ambiguous adversaries, and we have a contemporary theme. But at its heart, we have those evergreen pillars of its corporate greed and environmental destruction, but fun first. Yeah, it's that's what we really care about, is making a really fun title. We've actually got a term which we've called run, gun and cover. And so this is a big part of the innovation in this game, this run, gun and cover, two things that normally conflict with each other. It's very much you run out there and you shoot the AI, and then what we saw was when you start to become overwhelmed, you actually intuitively sort of grab the cover and start to go for the respite and start to heal. And that's a brilliant way to play our game, and very much at the heart of what we were aiming for with a 360 arena combat. One of the things we learned from Phantom was about role play, and so we knew that we didn't want the player to start to get all sort of faffy with the gun. With that goal of fast-paced action, we tried many mechanics where we were sort of grabbing ammo from the pouch and then putting it into the gun.
What Endreams ended up with was something decidedly more accessible than many other VR shooters, and it ended up making some pretty different decisions to a lot of its contemporaries too.
A big thing that we didn't want to do was the dual wielding, because that actually fights with the accessibility, and that fights with the fast-paced action that we wanted to deliver. So you've got to pick your battles and make certain compromises.
Something I've noticed from playing the game is how Endreams uses different AI types to keep combat fresh and exciting throughout.
I think one of the ones you saw was the Screamer that comes screaming towards you, and it has that shock horror value which makes you back off and makes you start searching around the environment really fast. And we've got other AI types which actually reverse it, so instead of you being the hunter, you become the prey, and then you start to use cover in a different way, in a much more defensive way.
What the hell is that thing?
You're right in calling out that we have sort of palette cleansers, like we like to call them, which is like the skiing in a way, and we sort of scale up the skiing with different combat. And then we've got sort of linear channels, and then we open up into big sort of combat arenas in which you can play, and there'll be like, you know, waves attacking you.
All right, go for it. Ah, this looks so cool on cam.
I think the big thing for us was that when we played sort of be in the movie VR experiences, they were very much on rails, and so we wanted to break that, and we wanted it to feel like a proper first-person shooting game.
I'm impressed. Where did you say you learned how to shoot again?
I didn't.
As Watt's been alluding to, it's really hard to make a breakneck speed first-person shooter in VR. So why did Endreams take this risk, and what are they doing about comfort within the experience?
It was an opportunity in the market where it's not being supplied. There was quite a lot of constraints or sort of considerations about making it fast-paced for the comfort. So in a kind of way, if we knew we could solve that, then we knew we were on to a game which was what the audience were expecting. I feel that VR, you can get caught up too much in the technology and not appreciate what the gaming audience really wants, which is a really strong game. So it's very much about putting the gamer first and making a game which is really fun, rather than putting the technology first and making something that is, for the technologists. So what was really important to us was making it super fun and super accessible. The choices we made, such as like putting the mechanic of reload right at the bottom of the gun, meant the player could keep their engagement on the action and the gameplay, rather than getting caught up in too much roleplay. So roleplay is important, but it's not the be all and end all. Does the roleplay add to making the game more fun?
Looks like we got company.
We also found like grabbing onto the environment it's a way of anchoring the player into the world again, and we've got a feeling that affects the comfort level. But a big thing, and we also have that with reloading the gun and charging the gun, so you're constantly anchoring yourself. But a big thing, I think, is where the player's attention is. If the player is playing the game and they're thinking about traditional gameplay mechanics, such as where they're going to grab cover, shoot them in the head, if they're thinking about those sort of mechanics, then they're not thinking about motion. And if they start to think about motion and they're looking around the environment, I think that's where the brain might become slightly confused with itself. I sort of see it similar to sort of being on a boat and looking at the horizon. And so if your attention is on something which isn't emotion, I think that helps a lot.
To say Endreams has big ambitions for Fracked is to put it lightly. As I talk to Watt, it becomes increasingly clear that the team believes they are making a console-quality experience for VR.
I think there have been a lot of VR games which have been fairly sort of arcade experience in terms of short session, and I think they work really well actually, and I think they're really good. This isn't that.
Watch your line, but keep it fast!
This is much more hitting towards the traditional campaign, and so it's a traditional campaign length of a game that we want. And I think of it similar to a first party title where you make blueprints for other games to sort of build off. And so I want people to look at this game and go, you can really make super fun games in VR. To me, it's not about satisfying the VR audience, it's about satisfying the gaming VR audience and showing the gamers actually come to VR and see the different experiences that you can have and how you can have your traditional mechanics suddenly disrupted or enhanced by using VR.
We'll have plenty more on Fracked later this month. Thanks so much for watching the video. If you liked it, make sure to comment, like and subscribe, and hit the notifications button for all the latest VR updates.
Oh, this'll come in handy. Oh, shit!
Got plenty of cover there. How about using it?